Founders.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another fine edition of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. This is show number 251. I can't believe we've been doing this 251 times. But behind the glass, your friend and mine, producer extraordinaire, your friend and mine, Mr. Dave Sturcio. Dave, and how are we this afternoon?
It's been an interesting week, to say the least, and it's only Tuesday, so that makes it worse. So.
Rumor has it your wife is on the 10-day disabled list for traveling to Italy, and you were quickly inserted, aka like Shador, into the starting lineup of taking care of your children.
I've been a dad for 6 years now, so you figured that's plenty of reps to make sure that everything isn't possible. But what I'm realizing is, if this is a team at my house, I am the long snapper, maybe, right? And
yes,
quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, offensive coordinator, everything. And I'm like, so when the plays are coming in, I'm just like, change it, change the play.
And I'm sure you brought in your coach from college, aka your parents.
Oh, they're coming tonight. They're coming tonight.
Your special teams coach, your bonus mom. You got people coming in and out of.
I'm in dire need. Listen, my kids have been actually flawless. They've been really, really good for me so far. So, but I will say that.
But what's the reason why you think they were so good this week, Dave? Why don't you share that with me?
What do you think?
What do you think? Do you think it was your parenting skills, your domineering, your dad's in charge? Maybe it was something else. Maybe you.
So I negotiated with terrorists, which you're not supposed to do in this country, and I told them, I said, if you guys are aces all week and I don't have to deal with any kind of crap as far as like getting out of the house for the morning or going to sleep at night, I said, we'll go to the toy store on Saturday, and you're able to point at whatever you want, and Dad will buy it for you for being.
And you know what that's called? That's called parenting NIL. Right there.
Listen, man, I got to pull something. I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can. But like I said, they've been aces. They've been really good. Maybe because they didn't know that they were getting that at first. And then the first night was rough. There was a lot of like, hey, this doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? I was like, it is different.
You know what the problem is? Without your parents there, someone's open on every play.
Exactly.
So if you don't get to the quarterback.
Well, I told my dad, I said, listen, I got Jimmy's show from 1 to 2, and then I got a hard out at like 2:20 to go pick up Stella, and then it's just like off to the races from there. So I get
you. I remember that happened. I only had one, so I was in single coverage. But you get sloppy with single coverage. But you know what you end up doing? You're going to end up covering Miles one-on-one. And Stella, for the most part, won't be that open, and then all of a sudden you got to watch. Whoa!
I think my daughter's taking pride in being like the woman of the house. Yeah, she's helping out a little bit. It's funny. I took a great picture of him yesterday. I had him both washing the dishes, and I'm like,
my God.
I got some hired help over here.
By the way, no matter what you do, if you win the game 31-0. When your wife gets back into town, during the film sessions. What happened here?
First of all, I woke up on. She left on Sunday night. I woke up on Sunday morning with like Post-its everywhere, just like Ziploc bags of shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, you don't have to like micromanage. I can figure it out, and then like realizing the next day, I'm like, I am so glad she did this.
I know. So bad, but anyway. Well, Dave is being a single parent for a week. And of course, this is show number 251. And of course, we take the number 51. And this list is really all about Steve Venditti. I mean, obviously, you got Bernie Williams, number 51. Abdul Carter, the most overrated draft pick on the planet for now. And here's where Steve Venditti is approaching the edge of the road. And I say Frank Marion from the New York Giants in the 70s and 80s. Zach Diassi, who is his father played, his son plays too. Ken Norton Jr., I think you remember him. And then, of course, because the Bears won, I had to throw in probably the most important number 51, Dick Butkus, Randy Cross, and something else. I'll go through these, and you're gonna laugh at this. Chuck Carey, remember him on the Yankees? He was awful. Dom Scala, do you remember Dom Scala? No, you're too young. Coach in the '80s, they sucked. He was a coach. Cecilio Guante, you remember him?
Oh no.
And then you got, of course, Ichiro and Willie McGee.
And look,
but here's the guy.
How soon you forget one guy that I mentioned last week as we were going off the air.
51. Who?
He played center for the Ford's Bearcats Mighty Might division.
That's right. That would be Dave Sturchio's number. I forgot that already.
And I chose it. I chose it because of Ken Norton Jr. So
okay. Well, that's wonderful. I couldn't stand him either. Because he played for the Niners and the Cowboys, two teams I hated back then. But you know we're forgetting, and I'm sure you remember this guy, but I think it's incredible, and I don't think it's been done since. And God rest his soul, he passed away at a young age. But Sam Mills,
yes,
linebacker,
yes,
dude, he played at Montclair State College at the time. Do you realize not many NFL players come from a school like Montclair? He was actually in the building when my sister was there, and my cousin Michael. And he was he was short. He had everything you're not supposed to make the NFL. Too small, too this, too that.
Right.
I think he played for 6 years, maybe a little longer. And of course he got cancer and stuff like that. He passed away. But Sam Mills, New Jersey, Montclair State, played in the NFL for about 6 years. Awesome. Jersey boy. So that's number 51. But of course, moving on to our fine baseball card segment, which is exciting. This guy, I can't believe this is embarrassing on my part because I did not know who this guy was. I think you are because you're a little bit more in tune. Your friend and mine, Mr. Jose Vidro. Do you remember him?
Yes. Okay.
You know what? Brain fart. I didn't know anything about. I'm like, how come I know that? Until I realized, wait a minute. This guy played second base, played 12 years, batted .298, 128 home runs, 1,500 hits. That's a lot of hits. From Puerto Rico. He played on Montreal, Washington, and Seattle. So he was the biggest veteran on Montreal when they switched to Washington, and then Seattle. In 2000, I guess I was in LA running around. Yankees were good. I don't know. He batted .330, 101 runs with 200 hits, 24 home runs.
He was one of those pesky guys, man. He was you couldn't get him out.
You do that today, you're making 20, like Bellinger, please. You're making like $27 million a year if you do that numbers today.
Yeah.
And over a 5-year period, how often does this happen? From 99 to 2003, he batted over 300. That don't happen much now. 5 years in a row over 300, that don't happen. Maybe they say because the relief pitching is better now. But he was traded to the Nats, then traded to Nats from Seattle. He made like $7 million a year. He was an all-star in 2002 and 2003. He was a switch hitter. Played from 97 to 2008. I couldn't find much about him now. He's still living in Puerto Rico. He helps out when he's very involved with when the hurricane blew out Puerto Rico. He's from Sabana Grande, Puerto Rico. But really good player. I mean, solid numbers, 12 years. God bless.
It's crazy because you know how like some of these players that you pull up, you just remember, like if you do remember them, you remember not so much like they're playing, but like something else that'll just like click, right? For Jose Vidro, I hear Bob Shepard introducing him as a visiting team.
Jose Vidro.
Yes, and that's what I know. I'm like, these guys played the Yankees a million times. Yeah,
under the guy, it was Ippolito Pena. There's the guys are. He was always good at the Spanish ones because he didn't do the proper Spanish. What you're supposed to do, like the newscasters, they do that. He just did the way Bob Shepard announces a player. That's the way his name should be. It's like God telling you, Ippolito. Anyway, I totally get that.
I always used to. Well, I always liked your you and Artie's and Taylor thing because no matter who made the tackle on the Giants, like Taylor was there too. So
Taylor. When I was signed by William Morris, who at the time was like one of the big agencies around, there was a guy, Phil Pepe's son, Jim Pepe, was an agent there. And the reason why I used to imitate Bob Shepard, everyone does like Derek number 2 and all that stuff. The reason why I always did it different, because the Giant Stadium, they put these new speakers in. I was a I went to every game from like 79 to like 91. Didn't miss a game. Saw every one of Lawrence Taylor's home games, right? There was these huge Bose speakers. We were in the upper deck. These huge Bose speakers they put, and to this day, way better sounding than anything they have now. And so Bob Shepard was literally 25 feet from my ears behind me. And so
wow.
the way he did it at Giant Stadium was so much more funny because it was like he would tell me, no one, if anybody knows of any arena that does this, he would say, "Bar to kick, Hostetler to hold." He would announce the holder.
Oh,
no
dude.
way. I want to prove.
Well, now with all the craziness that can happen in an extra point, you have to know the full unit. Everybody knows the full unit now. There's like graphics for it and shit on the TV.
Okay, that's fine. Not the public address announcement.
No, not the full.
And so we would sit there, and I remember Jim Pepe would always goes, "Why do you do football?" I said, "Because it's funnier." Because he would go like, "Spilled by Carson," and there would be a little delay because LT when he was younger would come in and like slap the guy's ankle, and tell. Yeah. And then one time it was like tackled. There was one play, and that's why me and Artie laughed about it. It was like tackled by Carson, Van Pelt, Kelly, and Taylor. It was like 5 Giants.
Well, I was just when Tiki Barber was prominent. That was like the end of his Shepard's, like towards the back end of his run. And I just remember Baba with the carry.
I know it was so. But here's the thing: I met Bob Shepard.
Did you really?
You never heard this story?
No.
So we go in. I was doing live on tape with NBC, and Mike Stafford, who was the producer, got us in at Yankee Stadium. He says, "Jimmy, I think I can get you in and Bob Shepard." I was like, dude, I gotta like mentally. This is like he was much bigger in my mind than Jeter or Burt.
Yeah. He was.
Bob. I'm meeting Bob Shepard. This is like St. Peter, God, Bob Shepard, all the same thing. So they let me in. He's in this little room. I swear to God, 4 feet by 8 feet. He had a book. He was reading a novel while the game was going on. I walked in. He put his finger up as if to say 1 minute, and then he leaned over and said, Cecilio Guante, right? He hits the mute button. Because public address announcers, they only public address. They don't do the plays.
Right.
He hits the mute button and he starts going like, and you are? And I'm like, "Hi, I'm Jimmy Palumbo." He's like, "I'm Bob." And I'm like, "Oh my God, he's doing Bob Shepard."
And now you're realizing that it's not an act as far as his voice is concerned. He's talking like that too.
So we talked for a split second. Then he was like, "Now batting." And I was like, "Oh my God." So with that, I didn't know what to do. So I told him, I said, "Well, I'm working on this show on NBC." And I go, I was like, "Hey, I imitate you all the time." And he's like, "Many do." I was like, "Oh my God, you telling me that's no big deal." And then I started to talk to him as Bob Shepard.
Oh my God.
Like, "I'm here to talk and watch the game." And he looked at me with this like, I don't know if you sound
it's like almost like I don't sound like that.
But here's the weird thing. He was reading a book. That's how, and I had heard this. He was a great guy. He supposedly he didn't he wasn't like, he was a Yankee fan, of course, but he wasn't like, he was like not connected to the game as much as you think. He had the list of players, and he did tell me how I go over the names for pronunciation. Like he told me that in between pitches, batters. And then I heard he was a lector at a to this day, my biggest
regret. You said that, all right, just so everybody knows, you told this story, ready? On episode 1 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show.
Okay, there you
just
go.
So everybody's
crazy.
You want to go back to that? Go back to that, but listen to it now.
Listen. But the thing was, could you imagine? Letter of Paul to the Corinthians. That church, wherever he was the lector, all those people are going to heaven. How could you possibly sin if he says like, "Go out and spread the word"? That would have been like Galilee. Like Bob Shepard's telling you to go out. Whatever's in that gospel, and Bob Shepard I think Bob Shepard's voice should be AI into like instructions. Like,
and you know what? It probably will be, to be honest.
You know what I mean?
It
should be like, you should be able to go like, hey Siri or Alexa, and it should be, "Make sure you clean your room I mean, it should be like everything.
Can you imagine him doing like the hokey pokey or something?
Oh
Like,
my God.
put your left foot
Put
in.
put your left foot. I mean, he should do all instructions, like any kind of
Yeah.
everything should be Bob Shepard telling you what to do. I swear.
Imagine that be your whatchamacall, your turn-by-turn directions.
Oh, it should be GPS.
left.
Make a left turn, then go straight. I mean, it would be like
You went too far.
Oh my
Too far.
God, it's so great.
That's
But,
amazing.
that's Bob Shepard for you. But anyway, Jose. Now, I guess
We're still on the
it's
card,
Vitra.
15 minutes in.
I know. Still doing the card. All right. Well, listen, Patreon, we're still at 56, but we're not mired because 56 was added last week. Looking for a Byron Hunt at 57. Then Diddy just drove off the road. I got to give a shout out to my nephew, Eric Palumbo, who is the parent of my grandniece, Emery June, who turned 1 year old. I can't believe she's won already. She's already starting to call for the ball. She's dribbling up the court.
Man, that's quick.
And a big shout out to Rich Thomas and Johnny Box here at Shea. And what did I write here? I wrote something here. I can't think of it. That's it. Can't read my own writing, so that's it right there. And of course, right there, of course, Dave and I are continuing in showbiz. ChasingMiracles.com. That's right. I am wearing the patch.
I wasn't ready for that one. Go ahead. Keep going.
Chasing Miracles for free. Right there. Go to ChasingMiracles.com. Stem cell patches. You know what? Everybody out there, call up Donna. Not call up. Well, go to the website and order some of these. See how you feel. They also got a couple other really cool things. Go support Tommy and Donna. This stuff. Stamina, energy, muscle strengthening, detox, helps with weight loss. No needles. When you pee in the cup, Dave, what happens?
Yeah, you pass a steroid test.
Of course, when Dave pees in the cup, there's always a little second test out of the guy from South Carolina.
Come on now. Come on. Listen, you know I got a guy peeing for me at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I can say, hey, Dave, why does Miles always got to go in the bathroom with that cup for you? That's what it is.
Oh, my God. All right, so I'm trying to teach him how to pee as a boy, as a man, standing, point, go, right? Like he still sits. He's four, right?
He doesn't have the arm strength.
So he's right before this morning he goes into the bathroom. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, I got to the bathroom. I was like, oh, okay. And I just let him do his thing, right? He's sitting and he's like, Daddy, I need help. And I was like, all right, so just keep in mind what happens to the normal male when they first wake up, right? What their situation is. I'll just leave it at that. And instead of peeing into the bowl, he just shot, just fired it out there. And I was like,
kick is up and through it.
I was like, oh, okay, all right, don't worry about it, buddy. I'll clean it up.
I only had a girl, so we were, it was a different.
His flag was flying and he was shooting.
There you go. I love it. Parenting Skills Show here at Shea, sponsored by Bed Bath and Beyond and
another one of my wife's former employers.
So I held it. I didn't tell you this because it's really a serious thing I'm about to bring up. This is our last show now. So that's it.
All this work,
Dave. No, listen. I gotta tell you. And this show's gonna be weird, but it doesn't matter. I got to tell you what happened Saturday night. So I can't. There's nothing really funny about it, but maybe it is funny in a certain way. So I do this show at a place called Booyah with my and the headliner was Joey Vega, tremendous comedian. And I'd done a couple shows there. Matter of fact, the owner, I did a show where they had it in the actual bar and people were watching the Knick game where we're trying to do comedy. And so they put it in this back room, the second show I did. And it was like a sterile room with just chairs. And it was kind of like a Tupperware meeting. It wasn't any good. So I wasn't really looking forward to doing this show, but I showed up and they took this one room, they put nice tables. They had a little stage, they had candles. They really did it nice. It was a perfect room for stand-up. It really was. And, so they had some kid was being the host. I grabbed a beer. My mother and sister and my brother-in-law decided to surprise me and show up. And they were sitting right in the front. There was 4 tables in front. They were like in the 2-3 hole. So they were like to the left of me looking out. And it was 4 other tables straight across and then tables all the way back. Neil Kurtz, good friends of Artie Lang and Michael Deege, was there with his family and a couple people from Ramsey, blah, blah, blah. So the kid goes up. He does okay. they introduced me. I go up, and dude, and I don't say this that often, I had it going on. I had a good set,
Okay.
man.
In
Solid
your
set.
zone. All
I
right.
was in my zone. The ball, you know what I mean? I was on fire. It was just a good set. I added some jokes about kitchen renovations that I haven't done, and even though that bit didn't go like 100%, I'm like, oh, there's something there. Bitching and moaning about doing a renovation, from my point of view. So I came off the stage. I was like, boom. You know what I mean? That double off the wall.
Or booyah.
Okay, booyah, right? I was doing really well. I really
Mhm.
even my mother said afterwards, like, Jimmy, you had a really nice, when your family comes up, usually they go, oh, it's good, and then they get, they're bored to death of my shit by this point. But they were like, no, even my brother-in-law was like, Jimmy, that was a really good set. So I'm backstage, and the hallway was to the right of the stage, and Joey Vega goes on, and it's funny when you're the middle and there's a really good headliner. Now I have middled before, and the headliner didn't quite like match up. In other words, there was fans going, "Hey, put that backup quarterback in there, Jimmy." Joey Vega, though, 72 years old, been doing comedy since 1905. He got behind center. The first pass was a 25-yard strike. You know what I'm talking about? You're like, oh,
Mhm.
he's just a really good comedian. So he's doing really well. And I'm listening because I like to listen to these guys who are really good consistently. So I'm out in the hallway, the back door to the right, and I peeked in, and there's a little bar back there, and I peeked in. I was listening to him, but then I got called out because I had to get Bobby Gonzo was going to pay me Venmo, so they were asking for my Venmo, blah blah blah. And he's like, Jimmy, great set. Oh, thank you, man. And his daughter, Jimmy, I'm definitely going to use you again, blah blah blah. They got to pay me a little more, but still, God bless America, right? All of a sudden, when I tell you, the room got dead silent. I'm talking about, when I say silent, is if you shut the TV off. Boom. And all I hear is a woman's voice. Help! Help me! My God! My God! Now, I turn around and there's people jump up right where my mother, who's 86, was sitting. Help! Call a doctor! Call it! Screaming. Only one woman's voice. And I couldn't, I ran in there like Lawrence Taylor. I ran in. I thought it was because it was from my angle. It was right where my mother was. I thought maybe she got sick or something. I don't know. I run up and I see that's not my mother. So immediately I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. I look and my sister was like on the aisle. Right next to her in the other table, there's a guy in a chair. Okay. I found out lady was 67 years old. Dude, he's slumped over in the chair, mouth open,
Oh shit.
pasty, sweating, gone.
No.
The lady's jumping up. And by the way, dead silence. Mark, Mark, Mark. And is there a nurse here? And they already called 911. Someone said, I called 911. Some lady gets up. I don't know if she's a nurse. My sister got up. She's a gym teacher and she does know CPR and all this stuff. My sister couldn't really find a pulse. The lady's touching his neck. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really feel it. And this guy is pasty, sweating, not, when I say not moving, not moving. So, I realized I got to get my mother away from this because she was only like 5 feet away. And I know coming through that door is going to be
Mhm.
ambulance. Right? So I go, Mom, we got to go. Of course, my mother was like, oh, is he okay? And I go, Mom, please, did you pay your tab? It doesn't matter. I'll take care of the tab. So I get my mother up and out of harm's way, and my sister and brother-in-law too. All you hear is this woman's voice going, Mark, no, Mark, come back to come back to us, like haunting. She's like, well, the kids are at home, the grandkids. Dude, it was and it was silent because that's all you heard. And then she's like, please, somebody help. The oddest thing is, my sister started to ask around, does anybody have one of those, what do they call them? AEDs, the
Yeah, the
paddle,
defibrillator things. Yeah.
AFT, maybe? Is that
Yeah,
whatever that,
the
shit, like most gyms have it.
that's from it's from Basketball. He's like, where are those things that George Clooney uses?
Yeah, exactly
right. Right.
So my sister's like, and meanwhile, here's the weird thing. My sister's like, well, should we lay him down? Like, no one, how do I word this without sounding shitty? No one did a thing outside of touching his neck. He wasn't slumped over on the table. He was slumped over in the chair as if he was like, he nodded off, but his eyes were open, halfway open. He didn't move a muscle, not even a shoulder. He wasn't going, it was like he was frozen in a freezer. Frozen, nothing. And this is the kicker. And this woman's voice is the only thing you heard for 15 minutes.
Jesus.
And he turned that white, his lips. I'm like, I'm in the hallway. My mother, of course, had to go to the bathroom. And I'm in the hallway and I'm like, man, he's gone, man. I've seen 3 people, dead in my time. And I'm like, his jaw was open the way a dead person's is. I was like, oh my God. And meanwhile, the headliner, Joey Vega, is just like, I only had like seconds to go in my set. And I just, I didn't know what to do. I just said, good night. I got off. And they got everyone out of the room, mostly. There was maybe 10 people surrounding this guy with no one doing anything. And meanwhile, it's like, where's the first aid squad? And so we're in the hallway and people are just like, oh my God, he's not moving. Like, everyone's saying he's dead. Okay.
Right.
The cops, there's always cops get there first when the emergency like that. And I hate to bash these people, but I didn't think the cops, I wanted a little fire in the belly. So people, as they were walking in the hallway,
they got to stay as calm as possible because people are already frantic.
But it's not a stroll though.
Oh.
Like there was no like, and as they were walking by, people were like, "Hurry, get in there!" And right behind them was the medics, and so people were like, "Hurry!" And I'm saying to myself, I was like, "Hurry! It's been 12 to 15 minutes. He hasn't moved. This game's over. I mean, that's a long ass time." Just as they literally entered the room, I hear someone say, he's moving. Okay. The medics come in. I come in like behind them. I just wanted to peek to see what was going on. And sure as shit, he kind of woke up. Okay. They put the oxygen on him right away. And all of a sudden his eyes are moving normal. His coloring came back a little bit. And I'm like, what? This is like, and he had use of all his extremities. So it didn't seem like he had a stroke. It didn't seem like he had a heart attack. I don't know. We don't know what it was at that point. And I'm like, oh my God. So I went back. I said, he's moving around. And they're like, and all of a sudden, like nobody was rushing even to get him to a hospital to find out what the fuck that was. And it's almost like the medics weren't buying into everybody. Like I didn't think I wanted to go, he was frozen for 12 minutes. Get him out of here. Get him to, maybe it's because I'm watching that show, The Pit, and I'm a fan of I don't know. All I know is like, this is where the joke, I'm like, a 2-minute offense. Like, let's go. We have no timeouts. This guy was dead 5 minutes ago. And so I come in, and then I realized that they were bringing in the stretcher calmly and slowly. So I guess his vitals returned. So I look at the wife who, and I remember they were right in front of me. So I remember them, and they were laughing at me. I said, I'm so glad seems like he's okay. We're going to pray for you guys. He looked me dead in the eye, this guy, and goes, hey man, you were very funny.
What?
Now I'm like, I was spooked because the way he said it to me, I was like,
because a dead guy's talking to you. It's really what it seems like.
Listen, I'm not exaggerating. Call it my mother, call it my sister. There is no one in that room and you know how long 12 minutes is when a guy's frozen?
In dead time? Yeah.
Yes. Meanwhile, me and my sister start to be like, why didn't they move him? Why didn't anybody lay him down, pound his chest, rip open his shirt? No one did.
If there's nobody trained, man, then you can't do it.
My sister is, and she was telling me how everybody, by the way, I'm totally, the library sponsors those CPR things. I'm totally going to do that. Because you got to know what the fuck's going on. So God forbid someone nears you, jump up.
That happened. And you know what? That happened to me at a concert 2 years ago. I was out with my brother and the wives came out. Like we were all having a good time. Next thing you know, somebody, I just hear like, help. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was like literally in between sets. So like it got quieter. Right. So I look behind and somebody's just, and I'm like, well, so me, I'm like, I don't know. I haven't done CPR or training in years. Right. So it's like, So now you're sitting back and nobody's doing shit because, again, if you don't know what you're doing, you could fuck that up so badly.
You know what?
So
I get it.
understand that the whole everybody's like a little like tiptoeing
I
around
don't-
because they don't know.
I don't you know what though? I get it, but that's like saying, we're at the 40. No sense throwing the Hail Mary because probably not going to get it. No, you got it, dude. I could see the first 3 minutes. We're talking about 12 to 15.
Yeah, it is.
So with that, he's the medics are there now and all that stuff, and I'm just like, so then a guy who was at their table comes around, and all he said was, they just got back from Africa, and you have to do post-Africa malaria shots. You have to get after you return.
Jesus.
And maybe he had a reaction to the malaria shot. And I'm thinking, you're getting shots for fucking malaria and you're in Africa? What the fuck are you going to see Jimmy Palumbo do dick jokes on Route 17 in Mawa? And I was like, so a malaria drug makes you freeze for 15
Well, when you
minutes?
don't know what the fuck is in these fucking things.
And then,
like,
so he ended up, then we heard him say, I ain't going to the hospital, I'm fine. And I literally looked at him and said, dude, you're going to the hospital. There's no way. So then all of a sudden come in, there's an older lady outside of the hallway, and everybody was relieved that he was seems to be alive. Right. And all of a sudden I look at the lady and I go, she goes, you were very funny. I said, thank you. I said, listen, I know I had a killer set, but I didn't realize it was good. And she goes, I was waiting for one of you guys to bring up the joke.
You guys.
I said, no. I said, I looked at him, I said, no. I said, I got so many laughs the audience could hardly breathe. I mean, I did like 5 jokes.
Oh my God. He's all wait, don't I have a rim shot around
so
here?
I did every killer, slayed the audience.
Here we go.
Yeah, so I did, and she was like, so it was a little moment of levity. So then I call up my sister. They're on the way home taking my mother, and I'm just like, I'm talking about the malaria and the shots. She goes, yeah, that's true. And then all of a sudden, the Jimmy Palumbo Show took over. I am like, listen to me very clearly. If you got to go to a place on vacation, and you for 2 weeks before you go, you got to take shots for malaria or diseases that are in those like Huckleberry Finn books. And after you get back, you got to take shots. I will never, ever, ever visit Africa or any place where I got to take fucking shots to make sure I don't get some disease.
You're dying from shit from Oregon Trail at this point.
Are you kidding me? What am I going to eat lemons for scurvy now? What are you talking about? Never. Another place I don't want to go to ever is Mexico. Oh, no, it's so nice. Why would you visit a place where you have like a 55% chance of getting the shits for 10 days or when you're there? I'd rather go to shitty Orlando in humidity in July and take the kids around Disney World than go to some place where I got to tell my kids you got to get shots. And by the way, I'm told, because my brother went to Africa, the needles, this ain't no fucking flu shot needles. These needles are like 8 foot long, made by Makita. All right. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. But all I know is the guy's name is Mark. Because the next day I farted and that lady's voice came out of my ass. It's in my soul forever. Just absolutely.
Dude, they ain't nothing scary to witness that. I witnessed it too, and I was like, dude,
it's brutal. I was there for my.
Because then you see him getting wheeled out. Well, at least your guy came too. We saw this person get wheeled out motionless. I'm like, I just saw somebody die, but I knew a girl I dated was whatchamacallit, she worked like for the event staff or whatever at MetLife, and I was texting her. I was like, hey, can you figure out like if you can get me any kind of report? I just don't want to know that I just saw somebody just heel over and die.
Well, sometimes you can't get it.
Well, no, it turns out about 45 minutes later, I got a text from her saying like she's good, and I was like,
oh wow. We saw someone die at Giant Stadium.
That's where I was, Giant Stadium.
When I say die, we were in the upper deck, and some big black guy right even with us to the left, dude. He collapsed. They were pumping his chest for probably 25 minutes, even going down. Somebody
going down the stairs and shit. Yeah, that's
and I could tell. I don't think that dude made it, but I never found that either. So I don't even know. So prayers to this guy Mark. Don't know where he's from, and I have no way of finding out.
I mean, if the guy didn't want to go to a Giants game, he could have just not went.
That's it.
Hey,
there you go. He looks like me watching him now. All right. Well, that's my story, which I wanted to hold for the show. It was, but you know what? But it stuck with me even now. It was like, it was just disturbing to watch somebody you think is dead in that white, shitty, pasty look. Anyway, that's it for that. On to more exciting things. Well, we talked about the 5 days of football, and I'll just go through them real quick. Now, Thursday, Ole Miss, Miami. That was a great game, back and forth. I was rooting for the. You know why? I was rooting for the U. I wanted Ole Miss because that's the team. What's his name left, and they're kind of the. But there was part of me that's like, you know what? It's kind of cool to have the Canes back.
Every time they panned over to Michael Irvin, I'm like, God, I want this guy to win so bad.
So it's just something about having the Canes back is kind of cool. Then Friday night was Indiana, Oregon. Now I watched Oregon completely annihilate Rutgers in a way that Rutgers has lost big.
This game I skipped.
Yeah, this game was as bad as any Rutgers loss, and we've lost games 80-7 that weren't as bad as this Oregon game. And then Indiana, man, just I mean, that's why I think Indiana's going to blow. I think
well-oiled machine. What's the spread of that? The finals.
I don't know.
Somebody chime in with the spread. I'm curious. If I had to guess, Indiana would probably be favored by 5. I want to say 5 or 6.
That sounds right. I think Indiana's a better coach. I think they're going to destroy
that kid. That Mendoza kid. He might as well just get fitted for his Raiders jersey now, dude. It's a foregone.
And that was my point early on. If I said my post said, if the Giants have the number 1 pick, are you sure? Because all I watch is this guy.
Listen, I get your sentiment, but and I'm not for nothing. I'm tired of getting ripped on this show. I posted the alternate idea for the draft lottery for the NFL. First of all, congratulations to the Jimmy Palumbo Show. Like over 80,000 views across social media. But most of the comments were, that dude does not know what the fuck he's talking about.
And that's stupid.
I'm like, dude, first of all, I could have been on a fucking edible for all you know. Relax. 8.5
you were like, it was an idea you thought about it. You were kind of doing it live.
It was right. It was on the fly. It wasn't like I had this written out chat GPT fucking thing.
Well, listen, that's why they
figure it out, guys. Stop the tanking. You come up with something.
I know.
I'm sorry, but one of the best comments that I saw, and he was so serious. This guy's like, "This is a great idea." Either he was serious or trolling so good that I bought in. He was like, they use this in the LHL and I'm like, what is that? He goes, it's a women's hockey league.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me.
Bang, I'm a fan of women's hockey. Let's go. No, that had to be a joke, but I was dying at that.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent idea. I think they should do something like that, but maybe.
But
you even said, like, hey, it's not all down on my head, but anyway.
Yeah, well, listen.
The interweb sucks. So that brought us to Saturday, Panthers Rams. That was just a great game.
Did not expect that to be that.
Yeah, and I almost forgot the next day. I'm like, wait, who won that game? That's how close it was. Really, I thought.
All right, wait. Now check this out. All right, because the next round we'll talk about it. But there's a stat that Keith Ernst dropped on me yesterday, Brett's brother, and I said, no way is this possible. Ready? Sean McVay, the coach of the Rams, has played 14 of the 16 teams in the NFC in a playoff game.
Oh, wow.
14 of 16. Well, technically 14 of 15 because they're the 16th.
That's a weird stat.
I think all he hasn't played yet is the Giants and the Redskins. Every other team he's played in the NFC.
Wow, that's a weird stat.
In a playoff game, which is
if he gets fired, he should go coach in the NFC for sure.
Right.
Then the Bears, Bears Packers. The comeback kids, man. This guy Caleb Williams. I didn't like him in college because he was cocky. But you know what, dude? Dude, you know what though, man? You gotta listen.
Here's the thing. He made a throw. Across his body, jumping to basically keep the game alive, and I was like, "That's one of the greatest throws I've maybe ever seen." But for every one of those plays for Caleb Williams, he spikes it into the earth and he sucks. And I'm like,
I agree,
what?
But
it's weird.
But he's just in the fourth quarter. I mean, you can't deny it. I think he's got like 9 wins minutes ago. Anyway, so again, though, just like the Hurricanes, Miami, it's kind of fun. My buddy Bob Sheehan loves the Bears, so I don't
So
hate the
does
Bears.
um
Uh,
uh, Tyson. He's a Bears
yeah,
fan.
so it's kind of cool having the Bears back. I like that.
And their coach, man, that post
Yeah.
game, bro. First of all, I was told, I read a report that the owner of the Bears is like very buttoned up, doesn't even like profanity, right?
Right.
But Ben Johnson at the end of that game was in the locker room. He goes, man, fuck the Packers. I fucking hate them. And I was like, oh my God, I love it. That's great.
So it was just a crazy game. That leads us to Sunday.
Yeah,
And,
I was reading the report, Tyson. It looks like
the
it's gonna be
Bills
like
Jaguars was
2
just,
degrees.
I mean, come on now. Allen, listen, he got it done. It was another great
warrior,
game.
that
Close. Dude. Yeah, he's just a badass. So that was kind of cool. I root for the Bills because I just want them to get one.
They don't have one yet, so yeah.
It's crazy. Now, a game that really wasn't that good, but it was good for me. The 49er Eagle game. I'm sorry. You know what?
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
This has nothing to do with. I hate the Niners too.
I do too, but
this has nothing to do with the game and calls and refs and this. You know what my reaction was when the game? I was like, enough. The Giants. In other words, the Giants. It's like they're a beaten dog, and I still gotta watch Barkley. Like enough with this Eagles and I'm like no. The Redskins suck. The Giants suck. I want the Eagles to suck for one game, and they did.
And they did.
Because they couldn't. They just can't score enough. And the game was still closer than it should have been. But enough. I don't hate Barkley. I just hate the fact that a player that we had that was very good is doing really well on another team over like contract. Who the hell knows why he left?
I literally, dude. This loss couldn't have happened to a better fan base than the Philadelphia Eagle fan base. And on top of that, I can't tell you how much I can't stand AJ Brown. And that dude drops so many big balls. And then he has the nerve to go and almost fight the most punchable face in the NFL, Nick Sirianni. It was bliss. I don't know how happy I could have been to see all that transpire.
If AJ Brown fights Sirianni, I'm rooting for injuries in that fight. And then you had the game. Look, the Pats Chargers and David Sonkin of Watch 215.tv. Listen to me. The Giant, and I'm me and my family and my brother especially are classic for this. We judge teams by how well they do against, like, if a team plays Rutgers and I say, wow, we stink, but that team's really good, right? The only team, like I went back and looked at the Giants like season and they were awful. But I'm like, well, that's weird. About 8 or 9 plays, the Giants could have made the playoffs, literally. And I'm like, that's weird. But the only team that completely demoralized, beat up, smacked in the face, and we had pissed in our cornflakes was the New England Patriots. And I can't stand them. I hate the Boston fan base because they just got us. They got us now. They got us going. And I was like, and then the Pats Charger game, they were just, even though the score wasn't,
No, it was you felt. First of all, Justin Herbert, that dude got he got the shit kicked out of him the entire game.
And like anybody who's like, nah, the Pats can easily win the Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody says.
I think you know what? Not for nothing. After watching what they did the other night, and I'm a big Mike Vrabel guy. I think he's a great coach. So
yeah,
I mean they're on. I mean Drake May should, in my opinion, the game that Stafford had against the Falcons, where he's throwing all the picks at the end of the year. I thought that was like the layup for Drake May to win MVP. Right. And I still think Drake May should win MVP, to be honest.
And if you're a Jet fan, it's got to drive you nuts.
The Patriots are back. They're back.
Patriots are back. And anyway, that leads us to last night's game. Listen, the Texans defense is just well documented. And Rodgers looked old. And, again, I still think Tomlin's great. And here's why I think Tomlin's a great coach. Okay. The Steelers were getting their ass kicked in every way. Special teams, defense, they were getting pummeled, and it was 7-6. If the Giants were playing the Texans last night, it would have been the same kind of thing. Texans are dominating, and the score would have been 34-8. We would have got a safety on a holding call. Okay, I was like watching the game, going, how are the Steelers, and they have Aaron Rodgers, which he looked old, he looked shot. I get it. But if Aaron Rodgers has one bullet in the chamber, and it was
he has one
game,
receiver on the team. Like
right.
Metcalf was non-existent. The whole, I don't know what their game plan was going in, but it just didn't work.
And here's the thing about the Texans, which is very un-Spagnuolo. They don't blitz.
They don't need to.
The 4 guys, and even on the tackles on the running plays, I was like, oh my God, this is vicious. And the Texans, I don't, they of course they got to play the Patriots. I think the Texans-Patriots game is going to be the best game of the weekend.
I think so too. I'm
anyway,
Seattle and San Francisco.
Rodgers might be done. We'll see. You never know. He could play a year. Who knows? So this is my predictions for this Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, Bills at Denver. I'm rooting for the Bills. I've been calling Denver a house of cards all year, and I've been wrong. But I think the Bills needed a win like that to get off the turf. I don't know. And then 49ers, Seattle.
So you're taking the Bills?
Taking the Bills. 49ers in Seattle. My brother-in-law is a big Seattle fan. I think Seattle, they were on my very good list for a long time. I think Seattle's going to win that game.
Well, the Niners are going to trot out you and I to play. They have,
everybody got hurt
everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. On Sunday, now, I think this is going to be the best game. I think the Pats are going to win it, but I'm rooting for the Texans. That's one of those things I'm rooting for the Texans. And then, of course, you got Bears, Rams. I think the Rams, same way as I feel about the Bills. I think the Rams, if they get it going, because by week 8, we all thought the Rams were going to just roll with it. I'm rooting for the Bears, but I think the Rams are going to win. So that's my prediction. Bills, Seattle, Pats, Rams, but I'm rooting for the Bears and the Texans. But again, if you're a gambler or a drunk or unhappily married, you're in for another.
I will say absolutely agree with you. With Seattle, I agree with you. I want the Bills, but maybe Denver. I don't know, man. Denver just seems fraudulent too. I like the Bills, but I would say
this year's wide open, man.
Yeah, I want to say that the big game of the week is going to be that Chicago Rams game, and right. Like if the Rams got to go from LA to Chicago and play on a Sunday night in the winter in the Bears house,
I even wrote it down.
I know. Tyson said
15 degrees,
right? So that's why. Like, think about it. You and I are on the older side, 40 and above, right?
Right.
Stafford might have himself a hard day. And I see the Bears defense being the reason why the Bears win that game. And then you got to think like the other way. Like, is the NFC title game going to be in Chicago? Right. I mean, that's a possibility if the one seed drops, but I don't see that happening. But
in a world where I don't really care who wins it, it would be kind of cool to have a game in Chicago. But I will tell the whole thing to me is like when you want it to be snowing, you want it to be this and that, but so again, a great weekend of football.
You almost get disappointed. I don't know if you saw like the pregame of that one of the games where it looked like a snow globe. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then it's like, and it's kickoff now, and the field is all good, and I was like, what do you mean all good? It was fucking avalanche.
That's not all messed around.
Yeah.
Another thing, if I'm playing against the Bears and I'm up by like 10, start of the fourth quarter. If I'm the head coach, I'm going over to the offensive coordinator and say, dude, like, I'm going to try to go up by 34 because with this guy, Caleb Williams, you can't give him life. Otherwise you're doomed. Anyway, which brings us, I'm sure, as you well know, if you came back from that game, you have filthy carpets. That's
right. Yes, we do.
And if you do, which mine are, even though I cleaned up the place, got the Christmas shit out of the way. God bless America. Oxy Magic USA, OXY. Magic USA, the best carpet cleaners in the world, according to me and Dave. 3 hours cleaning time, drying, EPA safe, all that stuff. Go to oxymagicusa.com. They also have 0% company financing on new locations. Me and Dave are currently looking for a location to open up our business, podcasting while we clean carpets. Day here.
I mean, not for nothing, but that might be like must listen to content. Like, just think about that for like a second. Like,
Matt, you know what? I'm gonna try to. Maybe I'm gonna do a video when the guy comes to my house. Maybe we'll try to shoot a video, something funny as hell. Anyway, now Rutgers basketball. I think Rutgers is one of the worst teams.
Yeah, they won the other night.
Well, you know what? They beat Northwestern. You know what?
In overtime.
You know what's funny about this team? Northwestern stinks. Okay, they're also probably the second worst team in the Big Ten. But you know what? When you're playing a shitty team and you're a shitty team,
Gotta make it happen.
Gotta make it happen. So
Mhm.
the kids play hard. They have no skills, no talent, except for maybe Tariq Francis. And it was nice to see him get a win. The kids were jumping up and down. God bless. I still don't think, there's like 3 or 4 games that they have a shot at left. That's the way I see it. And they play one of the good teams. They're screwed. Now, we got something which you're about to argue with me on this, but I don't care what anybody says. You're New York. Dude, we got to talk about Karl Anthony Towns, okay? He's worth as much money as Bill Gates, all right? He makes $49 million.
And welcome to the NBA.
Okay. Well, Brunson only makes 24. All right, and also, and our boy Julius Randle only makes 30, and their stats are close, by the way. So this is how you know that if they don't win the championship, Towns is going to be like John Starks 20 years from now, and here's why: 9.5 minutes to go in an NBA game, in a dogfight, and your coach, he sat the final 9.5 minutes. Not injured. Because he thought, well, maybe our defense, dude, the coach is technically benching Karl Anthony Towns. Patrick Ewing, LeBron, Jordan, Durant, Kyrie Irving, name the top 40 players in the last, and you never hear the coach, well, we decided it was best to not have him in the lineup the final.
Well, I mean, there is something to that. I mean, if he's not a good defender, then you got to play defense. So you just got, all right, go get your guy to play defense. That's all.
No.
Not for 9 minutes. That part I don't agree with.
No. For the final.
That's what I'm saying. I don't agree with the length of time, but
listen, I love Josh Hart. Okay. He's a fun guy to watch. But literally he was like, well, we thought it was better with Josh Hart in there. I'm like, really?
There you go.
That's interesting.
Cat defense suspect at best. That's
suspect. Why. Oh my God. It's like watching Law and Order. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you right now, he's the oddest player I've ever in any sport I've ever seen. Because when you look at his stats, he's like, 28 points a game. But during the games, this guy stinks. Oh, my God. I there's something about him makes me crazy. Which brings us to Landman.
I got some
I'll tell you what. Did you watch the last episode?
No, because of football.
I'll tell you one thing. Listen, I'm not being political at all. It was just over the top. Man, were they hard on the LGBTQ society.
Oh, really?
The daughter moves into college with like a transgender person.
Uh-huh.
And
careful.
No. I didn't write it. I wasn't.
I'm just saying you wrote it. It's just people can interpret shit.
No, there's no interpretation. It was like now when I say like the chair company, you got to watch it. When I say something, you're going to be like, and now maybe they'll jump back to it.
Uh-oh.
And cover.
Will Pena says Landman's going down the drain. Is that?
It's not as good as the first season. Really, they are. But
I was starting to really get into this one. So I don't know.
No. I'm just saying. I thought the show was brutally hard on
that community.
Community. Almost it was actually over the top. That's how bad I thought.
Like insulting.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I got to check this out.
You got to check that one out.
I can't wait to watch this. I got to see what they do.
They're careful, all this different stuff. Josh Diaz, no.
He just doesn't want you to get canceled off the face of the earth. You've seen AI, bro. You've seen AI. This shit happens.
Tell you what. Anybody next week? We'll talk about it after you watch it. And if you think I'm saying it wasn't harsh, I'm actually saying it was harsh. Oh my! You never see that on TV. Anyway, interesting there.
The Rock got screwed out of the Golden Globe or whatever the fuck you call it for the Smashing Machine. I heard he didn't win, so I was hoping he was winning. I didn't see any of those Golden Globe things.
First of all, I even have a note here: Golden Globes. You know what it is? I didn't get the screeners yet from Screen Actors Guild. I don't know any of the show. I don't know anything.
Does anybody ever?
No, yeah, it used to be that
you're different. You have like access to this shit. But 9 times out of 10, if you're a casual fan of movies, they're like, best picture goes to Nature's Promise. And I only say that because that's the name of the fucking water in front of me.
It's because of streaming and the way things are released now.
Yeah.
Number one, they release stuff for 10 days, so it's eligible, and it doesn't come out. It doesn't come out on Netflix. So I didn't know many. I know some of the TV shows. I just finished season 1 of The Pitt. Very well done. I think it's a ripoff of ER, but this one is very well acted by actors who I have no idea who. Not one guest star. Usually, I know in a whole season, I'll know an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I knew not one actor on the show except for Noah Wiley and the blonde lady who I did with the Katie Keene with. Very intense show though. Not a show you watch.
It's right in front of me, dude. I'm sorry.
Not a show you. I don't think it's ER light. I think it's ER heavy because they can curse now. No, it's more intense, really. A little bit less on the relationships, but a little bit. I liked it. What are you gonna do? But I just don't know enough of the movies. I want to give a shout out here at Shea to Mike Marino.
Why don't you give me the week off next week? You have Pat Volkmer on. You guys talk about the fucking Golden Globes.
I know we'll have him on for the Oscars, of course. Shout out to Mike Marino, comedian. He's has some health problems. Mike, we're praying for you and we're thinking about you. We can't wait to get back off the schneid.
Can't wait to get another text from you, man, that just says, "Hey, man," and I'm like, "Oh, open it. Come see Mike Marino." That's like the chick thing. I'm like, God,
he's the marketing.
He is. He's on his A game. Trust me.
He's relentless for sure. And he's a really good comedian and a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And of course, don't forget about Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-3937. Now, go talk to Craig and Jaber Janine Michaud, brother and sister. Craig, of course, the all-time strikeout, king of Corona Construction Softball. We were in the league for 45 years. That's a very impressive stat. And congrats on, kids got some good things going on in their education and job search, which is cool. They're full-service opticians. Charles Oakley's there. Go check it out. They got everything there. Mention any Dave Sergio, Jimmy Palumbo, mention anything about the show related at all. Go in there, say Rutgers sucks. You may get more of a discount. They've been in the business now for like 21 years, open 5 days a week. Give them a shout. They're really cool. 732-326-3937. I have a show on Saturday.
Which by the way, when I post for you sometimes, I know to kind of talk in your language.
Yeah.
And somebody ridiculed it the other day. As soon as you learn how to spell it on Saturday, I'm like, it was me, man. He's like,
I think it's my buddy Jeff. He was kidding, but I responded. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. First of all, anybody who's a fan of Mike and the Mad Dog, the Mad Dog says it like a big game on Thursday, and I got back. We flew into Orlando. We got back on Monday, and but my grandmother from Queens, that's how she used to say Saturday.
Well, my grandmother too.
We're going to be there Saturday, Sunday, which I always say that, which is hysterical. Tyson Hogan saying eyes on the
he was trying to chime in on your
trying to chime in there. Good job right there. But I got a show at 5 p.m. down in Seaside Heights, New Jersey.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. show, some kind of charity event. And I think Mr. Will Pena, yes, I'm going to be doing a show soon enough at the Stress Factory.
Oh, really? Is that a thing? My boy Vinny Brand over there. You want to shoot him a text?
Yeah, you know him,
Vinny Brand. Yeah,
yeah.
I only know Vinny because of Brett. So I've gotten to know him over the years. Yeah.
I got it. You know what? Next time Brett does a show around here, have him. I'll be a middle.
You want a headline? I mean, headline. You want to open for him or something?
Well, I'll be a middle for him. But let me tell you something. He's got to bring it. I know.
He always brings it.
I tell you what.
Tread lightly here. What you got?
No, I'm just saying. Put it this way: if I got to play him in the wild card game, all right, Brett, let's go, brother.
Hey, I'll pass the information. I tell you right now, that would be one hell of a show. You and him on one show, that would be that's my two worlds colliding right there.
Listen, I'm busting balls. Brett's a very good comic. These guys are pros, man. Every now and then I'm like Eli Manning. I can make a run and beat Brady in the Super Bowl, but I can also get bounced by the Lions in the first round. But I'm doing a show there. Also, I got to give a shout out to my grandniece, Emery June, of course, 1 year old. I got to give it special. I did it earlier in the
Did that
show.
already.
A little happy birthday. Doesn't matter. I want to give a happy birthday. She's 1 year old. She's my little puppy. She's adorable. She's in Austin, Texas, which we hate. New rule: you're not allowed to. Family members are not allowed to move away. That's my new.
Until you're
says,
dead.
"Oh,
Until you're gone.
no, like the whole thing. Oh, you love them and set them free. No, fuck that. Stay in the cage. I want to be able to see my grandniece. Him and his Maggie, his wife, they just bought her new house. They're almost ready to move in, which is exciting. And I love you guys. And I want to bring my daughter down there. Shout out to my daughter as well, who another possible knee situation, which we're a little nervous about. She has to take some time off from dance. We're going to do therapy again. PT. I don't know what's going on there. Her knees were sore, which I hate to hear. This dance thing, I do love when my daughter dances. I do, but like,
yeah, but those girls, man, they practice so goddamn hard and so many times and so many reps. Like your body's just not supposed to do that.
And also, she's been doing it since she's 8.
That's what I'm saying. Like the years and the reps. Oof.
I know there's benefits to being involved with a club sport, just like if your kid wrestles or plays basketball, you learn things. But at this point, I'm kind of like, all right, that'll do it here. Final score, dance 101, Jimmy Palumbo 84. We'll be right back.
And since the knee injury, it's been all.
It has been all. And then, of course, when the bills come in, it has been all.
Oh, you ready for this? So we'll wrap it up. But like I always tend to check the bank account to make sure, things are on the up and up, no fraud, no, just once every 2 days, 3 days, whatever. And I opened up the app the other day and I looked at Steph. I said, did we change something about dance? Like in gymnastics? She goes, no, why? I was like, I don't think it should be this much. And she goes, oh, well, no, they do it once a year. Like if I was like, oh, so like when the gyms bang you for another $30 to clean the fucking gym, all of a sudden I got hit with a $310. Who's calling?
I'm getting a call from Artie Lang.
No shit.
It's not gonna put him on.
Don't put him on. No.
Hey, Art.
How do I do your podcast to promote the signing?
Well, maybe you'll do the podcast next week. When you doing the signing? All right. Well, listen, I'm actually doing the show right now. I just wanted to grab it. I'll give you a call. Maybe you do the show next week. All right. All right. I'll call you back.
Wow.
So there's a possibility I was going to bring
cameo spot by Artie Lang today here on the show.
I was that was
not expected.
Unexpected. I was going to bring it up. I have my note right there. There's a chance that
is the king returning or what?
No, he's feeling a little better, and he may want to do some kind of some kind of event. It won't be stand. I shouldn't even say what he was going to do. I don't know why I did that, but I'm just so happy when I hear his voice that he's doing all right. So
no, it's so much.
I can't.
Yeah, it's called ignore. You can do that.
I can ignore that one.
Yeah, because if he calls again, I guarantee you, he's like, wait a minute, I was just live on your show. Turn that shit off. And if that's the case, I'll have to edit.
I'm wrong. Then I was wrong.
That's all right.
But it's good to hear his voice. But maybe we might. Anyway, listen. Any chance of Artie making a comeback is always positive awesome, for me. But so anyway, well, listen. I guess that's our show here at Shea.
Yeah, I got a daughter to go pick up and a son and gymnastics and this and that. So I got a whole bunch of
We will see you next week with a possible very special guest.
We shall see. Good night, everybody. Go return that call so you can get all that situated.
All right. I'll talk to you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.